Have you ever caught yourself doing this? Someone starts getting close to you. They show care, they want to know the real you, they even see the parts of you that you hide from the world, and instead of letting them in, you pull away. You ignore their texts, you create distance, you act like you don't need anyone when deep inside you're craving connection the most. If you've ever wondered, why do I push people away? Then this video is for you, because the truth is it's not just a habit, it's not just you being you, it's a psychological defense mechanism. It's your mind's way of protecting you, but also the very thing keeping you lonely. Think about it. How many times have you built walls around your heart, believing they would keep you safe, only to realize those walls are also keeping love, friendship, and belonging out of your life? How many times have you lost people you truly cared about, not because they left, but because you quietly pushed them away first? This isn't weakness. This isn't failure. This is your mind carrying scars from old pain. And until you understand the psychological reason behind it, you'll keep repeating the same cycle, wanting closeness but fearing it at the same time. So if you've ever sabotaged a relationship or felt like you're your own worst enemy when it comes to love and connection, sit with me for the next few minutes, because in this journey, you're going to see yourself more clearly than ever before. Let's be honest, you don't push people away because you don't care. You push them away because you care too much, because somewhere deep down, you know the risk of being close. Think about the last time you really let someone in. A friend, a partner, maybe even family. At first it felt safe, it felt exciting. You thought, finally, someone understands me. But then, slowly, your mind started whispering, what if they hurt me? What if they leave? What if they see the real me and decide I'm not enough? And that's when the distance began. Maybe you didn't say it out loud, but you started building walls, canceling plans, avoiding vulnerability, hiding parts of yourself, not because you wanted to, but because your mind convinced you it was safer this way. You see, pushing people away is not about rejecting others. It's about protecting yourself. It's a shield, a defense mechanism, a survival strategy your brain learned long ago, maybe in childhood, maybe after heartbreak, maybe after betrayal. Let me ask you, when you were younger, did someone you trusted disappoint you? Did you ever feel abandoned, rejected, or unseen? If yes, then your mind made a promise back then. Never again. Never again will you allow yourself to feel that kind of pain. And so today, even when love knocks on your door, your subconscious whispers, careful, don't get too close, remember last time. The irony is, this fear of being hurt ends up creating the very loneliness you're trying to escape. Because every time someone tries to love you, you unconsciously sabotage it. Not because you want to be alone, but because your wounds have taught you that love equals danger. But here's the thing most people don't realize. The very walls that protect you are also prisons. You're safe, yes, but you're also isolated. No one can break in, but you can't break out either. And maybe that's where you are right now, wanting connection but running from it. Hoping someone will stay but testing them until they leave. Longing for closeness, but drowning in distance. This is not your fault. This is human psychology. Your brain is wired to keep you alive, not happy. And sometimes that means it chooses safety over intimacy, fear over vulnerability, walls over bridges. But if you keep ignoring this pattern, you'll wake up one day, surrounded by everything you thought you wanted. Success, independence, freedom, and yet feel utterly alone. Because no matter how strong you are, no matter how self-reliant you become, one truth remains. Humans are wired for connection. So the question is not, why do you push people away? You already know the answer, fear. The real question is, are you ready to face that fear so you don't spend the rest of your life running from love? Let me ask you something personal. When someone pulls away from you, ignores your message, or takes longer than usual to respond, what happens inside you? For most people, it's a minor irritation, but for you, it feels bigger, doesn't it? It feels like rejection. A small silence suddenly echoes like abandonment. That tiny gap between words becomes proof that Maybe you're not enough. Why does this happen? Because your present isn't just your present, it's carrying the echoes of your past. You see, when we're children, every look, every word, every embrace from the people we depend on leaves a mark. If you grew up with warmth and safety, you learned love is secure, people stay. But if you experienced neglect, criticism, or abandonment, you learned something very different. Love is dangerous. People leave. I must protect myself. And here's the heartbreaking truth. Those lessons don't stay in childhood. They follow you into adulthood. They shape how you love, how you trust, how you let people in, or keep them out. Think of it like a script written years ago, one you didn't choose, but one you keep acting out. That's why even today you might find yourself in the same cycle. You get close to someone. It feels good, almost too good. Then the fear sets in, so you distance yourself or push them away. And in the end, you're left alone, which ironically proves your fear was right all along. This is what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your fear of being abandoned makes you behave in ways that eventually lead to abandonment. And then you say, see, I was right not to trust, but were you really right? Or did your fear create the outcome? Let me give you a simple metaphor. Imagine a child who once touched fire and got burned. From then on, every time they see fire, even the gentle flame of a candle, their body tenses, their brain screams, danger. So, they back away. They avoid warmth, light, and comfort just to stay safe. That child is you, and fire is intimacy. Every time love gets too close, your body remembers the burn of betrayal, the sting of rejection, the emptiness of neglect. So you retreat. Not because the new person is dangerous, but because your mind still thinks love equals pain. But here's the thing. Not everyone is your past. Not every hand that reaches for you is there to hurt you. Some are there to hold you, if only you'd let them. Still, I know letting go of old wounds isn't easy. They're not just memories, they're survival lessons. Your brain thinks it's protecting you, but really, it's keeping you trapped in yesterday. That's why you can have everything on the outside. Success, freedom, even people who care, and yet still feel empty on the inside. Because no amount of external love can heal the wounds you refuse to look at. And this is the paradox. The very thing you're running from, closeness, intimacy, vulnerability, is the only thing that can truly heal you. But to accept it, you'd have to risk being hurt again. So the question becomes, are you willing to break the pattern, to stop letting the ghosts of your past write the script of your future? Because until you do, you'll keep living the same story over and over, just with different characters. And maybe that's why you're here right now, listening to these words. A part of you knows it's time to face what you've been avoiding. Let's be honest for a moment. Deep down, you don't actually want to push people away. You want love. You want someone who stays. You want the comfort of knowing that no matter what happens, there's at least one person who won't leave your side. So why then do you find yourself building walls, making excuses, or withdrawing when people get too close? The answer lies in 3 fears most people never admit. Fears so subtle, so well hidden, that even you might not notice them until they're pointed out. Fear number 1, the fear of being truly seen. Closeness sounds beautiful in theory, but in reality, it's terrifying. Because when someone gets too close, they don't just see the polished version of you. They see everything. The doubts, the scars, the moments you're not proud of. And what if, when they see the real you, they decide it's not enough? So instead of risking that kind of rejection, you keep your distance. You'd rather be alone on your own terms than abandoned for who you truly are. Fear number 2, the fear of losing control. Letting someone in means handing them power. Power to hurt you, to disappoint you, to leave you. And if your past taught you that people use that power recklessly, your instinct is to hold on tighter to control. You tell yourself, if I push them away first, I can't be the one left behind. It feels safer to end things before they even begin. Safer to be the one who leaves than the one who's left. But ask yourself honestly, is that control really protecting you? Or is it isolating you? Fear number 3, the fear of vulnerability. Vulnerability is the rawest state of being human. It's admitting, I need you, I care about you, I trust you. And that's scary, because every time you've let your guard down before, it didn't end well. So now you've taught yourself, I'll be strong by being untouchable. But here's the irony. Your strength has become your prison. You're so busy proving you don't need anyone that you've closed the door on the very thing you long for most: genuine connection. The mask you wear. On the outside, you may look independent, confident, even fine. But deep down, it feels like wearing a mask. You laugh at jokes, you play along, you say, I'm good when asked how you are. But inside, you're tired of pretending, because what you really want is someone who can see past the mask, someone who notices the silence in your smile, someone who stays, even when you push. The truth about these fears. Here's the hard truth. These fears don't make you broken, they make you human. Everyone fears rejection, loss, and vulnerability. The difference is, for some, those fears are whispers, but for you, they've become screams. And that's why you push people away, not because you don't want love, but because you're terrified of losing it once you have it. A question for you. So let me ask you, what if, instead of spending all your energy avoiding pain, you allowed yourself to risk joy? Because here's the paradox. Every time you protect yourself from hurt, you also protect yourself from happiness. You can't numb one without numbing the other. And maybe, just maybe, the real strength isn't in building higher walls, but in learning how to keep your heart open, even when fear tells you to close it. You might think pushing people away looks obvious, like ending a relationship, cutting someone off, or saying, I don't need anyone. But here's the truth. Most of the time, it's much quieter than that. It hides in your everyday actions, your tone of voice, your choices. And the scary part, you often don't even notice you're doing it. Behavior number 1. You downplay your needs. Think about how many times someone has asked you, are you okay? And you replied, I'm fine. Even when you weren't, you've convinced yourself that needing support makes you too much. So instead of asking for help, you swallow the pain and smile through it. But here's the problem. When you never express your needs, people assume you don't have any. And slowly, without realizing it, they stop trying to reach you. You're not being low maintenance. You're quietly teaching people to believe you don't need them. Behavior number 2. You keep conversations. Surface level. You're good at small talk. You can chat about work, the weather, your favorite show. But when the conversation starts moving deeper, into feelings, fears, or dreams, you pull back. You change the subject. You make a joke. Why? Because opening up feels dangerous. But over time, this habit creates relationships that look friendly on the outside, but feel hollow inside. You end up surrounded by people, yet still feeling alone. Behavior number 3. You create distance through busyness. Ever notice how you suddenly get too busy when someone starts to get closer? You throw yourself into work, hobbies, or endless distractions, not because you don't want connection, but because staying busy helps you avoid it. The truth? Busyness is often just another mask, one that hides the fear of intimacy behind the excuse of productivity. Behavior number 4. You test people without realizing it. Sometimes, without meaning to, you push people just to see if they'll stay. You cancel plans last minute. You act distant. You become difficult to read. It's not that you want to drive them away. You want proof that they care enough to fight through your walls. But here's the cruel irony. The more you test, the more exhausted people become. And instead of proving their love, they quietly walk away. Behavior number 5. You build emotional walls instead of boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. They protect your energy and well-being. But sometimes, what you've built isn't a boundary. It's a fortress. Boundaries say, this is how I need to be treated. Walls say, I won't let you close at all, Tirage. You call it independence. Others experience it as distance, and slowly, it becomes a barrier between you and the intimacy you crave. The silent pattern. Do you see the pattern here? You're not storming out of relationships or declaring, I don't need love. No. You're slowly, quietly, unintentionally creating distance through tiny actions. And because these behaviors feel so natural, so automatic, you don't realize what they're costing you. Connection, intimacy, trust, and love. The mirror moment. Take a second right now and think, do you recognize yourself in any of these? The polite smile when you're hurting, the too busy excuse, the endless testing. If you do, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've been protecting yourself in the only way you knew how. But the truth is, these protections are outdated. They once kept you safe. Now they keep you stuck. A thought to sit with. What would happen if just once you resisted the urge to pull back? What if you answered honestly when someone asked, "Are you okay?" What if you let yourself be seen? Not the perfect version, but the real one. Because maybe the intimacy you're running from is the very thing you need most. Let's be honest, pushing people away has probably kept you safe. It's been your armor, protecting you from rejection, betrayal, and heartbreak, but at the same time, it's also kept you from love, intimacy, and connection, the very things your soul longs for. So how do you break this cycle without feeling exposed or weak? How do you let people in without losing yourself? Step 1. Acknowledge the fear. Instead of hiding it, the first step is honesty, not with others, with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Is it rejection? Is it being abandoned again? Is it the fear that if someone truly saw you, they might not love what they see? Naming the fear doesn't make it vanish, but it takes away its silent power, because what we avoid controls us. What we face, we begin to control. Step 2. Practice small acts of vulnerability. You don't need to pour your soul out to someone on day one. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing, it's about authentic sharing. Start small. The next time someone asks how you're doing, resist the urge to say, "I'm fine." Instead, try, "Honestly, it's been a tough day." That tiny act of truth cracks the door open. And more often than not, you'll find the other person stepping closer, not away. Step 3. Learn the difference between boundaries and walls. Boundaries protect you, walls imprison you. Ask yourself, am I keeping this boundary to protect my peace, or am I using it to keep people out entirely? Healthy boundaries create safe connections. Walls create lonely isolation. Step 4. Stop testing, start trusting. Testing people, cancelling plans, pulling away, giving them silent obstacles to overcome, may have been your way of seeking proof. But here's the painful truth. People get tired of constantly proving themselves. Instead, try trust in small doses. Give someone a chance to show up without making them run a marathon first. Step 5. Allow yourself to be loved imperfectly. Here's something no one tells you. Love isn't perfect. People will disappoint you. They'll say the wrong things. They'll let you down sometimes. But love isn't about perfection. It's about presence. About someone choosing to stand by you. Not flawlessly, but faithfully. If you wait for safe love that can't hurt you, you'll wait forever. The price of love is risk. The reward of love is connection. The moment of truth. Think about this. What if the people you keep pushing away are the very ones who could bring healing into your life? What if the intimacy you're running from is the bridge to finally feeling whole again? You've spent so much time protecting yourself from being hurt that maybe, just maybe, you've forgotten how to let yourself be healed. An invitation. Here's the challenge I'll leave you with. The next time you feel the urge to pull back, to shut down, to retreat into your fortress, pause, take a breath, and instead of closing the door, try leaving it slightly open. You don't have to throw yourself into the fire of vulnerability all at once. Just a crack in the armor is enough to let the light in. Because the truth is this, you don't need to push people away to be safe. Sometimes the greatest safety is found in being truly seen. Closing thought. So if you've been wondering why you push people away, remember, it's not because you're broken. It's because once upon a time you thought distance was the only way to survive. But you're not surviving anymore. You're ready to live, and living means letting people in, slowly, gently, imperfectly, but deeply. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much we resist it, we're not meant to do life alone.